y'all. Welcome to that Tennessee feeling. How's everybody doing this month? I can't believe we're done basically with 2025. I don't know that I'm ready. I feel like it just flew by, like literally just gone. Oh well, can't do nothing about it. Hope you guys have enjoyed the past few months. If you want to hear anything specific on Tennessee, reach out to me on any of the social media sites, y'all. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, whatever we're calling it these days, whatever. YouTube. And I do want to let y'all in on a secret. I am working on something very, very fun for Tennessee. It's in the works, been in the works for a little while. Finally getting it finished up. So keep your eye out on the Instagram and the Facebook. It'll probably be fully done by middle of 26. But just giving y'all a heads up, things are coming. Good things are coming. If you checked out the YouTube, there's kind of a hint on there. Also, if you have a second, I really would appreciate any reviews, guys. 5-star reviews go a long, long ways. Not any review, but a 5-star review. It really gets the podcast out there to other people who love Tennessee, or who just want to hear about it or learn about history. So I would really appreciate it if y'all took a second to do that. I know I haven't asked that in a while, and I try not to badger people, because I just want y'all to be able to give the podcast rating without me going, can I please have one? Like some podcasts do. I don't want to be them. I don't be those people. We're not like that, y'all. But I would appreciate a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify. It just really helps get the podcast out. It'd be amazing. Thank you guys if you do that. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite places in Chattanooga. And I actually remember when this opened. I think we went about a month after it opened. And good Lord, it was packed. But it was so much fun. And I have such great memories going with my grandma and my aunt, who's no longer with us. And I still go to this day, y'all. This is one of my favorite places in Chattanooga. I love it. It's so much fun. It's worth the money. And that is the Tennessee Aquarium. The Tennessee Aquarium is a nonprofit public aquarium located in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It opened in 1992. I remember that. On the banks of the Tennessee River in downtown Chattanooga. And you can see the river from the aquarium. It's really cool. They got some great views. And you can see the bridge. And there's actually a lot of really cool stuff around the aquarium that they really improved on. They did add a major expansion in 2005. And the aquarium, which is accredited by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums since its basically first year in 93, and it is home to more than 12,000 animals and 800 species. 20 million people have visited the facility, with the 20 millionth visitor in March of 2013. And it is constantly recognized as one of the country's top public aquariums. And let me tell y'all, I'm spoiled. Haven't been to this aquarium so many times. Like, I'll go to other aquariums and I'll be like, I'm sad. Like, we visited the one in Tampa and I was just sad. Like, I expected more, y'all. This place has done spoiled me, but it's great. Like, you got to go. That's why I wanted to tell y'all about this. It is the great place to go in Chattanooga, especially on a rainy day or cold. Lord, go in the winter. The Tennessee Aquarium exhibits are housed in 2 different structures. There is the River Journey, which opened in 92, and the Ocean Journey, which expanded in 2005. So I went a lot and just saw the river part. And I remember when they opened the Ocean Journey. I went, I think, about a year after it opened. And it's also just so cool. Like, there's just, they do so well to teach you about the animals, the species, and then the different waterways, which I think is really, really cool. So let's talk about River Journey. And I always start in River Journey. I'm not going to lie to y'all, because you can start at both. They get ticket. If you buy the tickets, you get tickets to both, because you have a ticket for both buildings. And I always start River Journey, and I think it's great. And I'll tell you why in a second. But the River Journey is a 130,000 square foot structure with, it's equal to about a 12-story building. And it contains over 400,000 gallons of water. And was the largest freshwater aquarium in the world when it opened in 92. And it is really organized around the theme of the story of the river. And it follows the path of a raindrop from high in the Appalachian Mountains, which we know all about that, y'all, and goes all the way through to the Gulf of Mexico, or Gulf of America, or whatever we're calling it these days. And approximately 2/3 of the facility's displays do follow this theme. The rest are devoted to smaller aquatic exhibits that host organisms from around the world. And there are major exhibits in the river journey, and that includes the Appalachian Cove Forest that has river otters. They're so cute. I love the river otters. It opened in 2014, and it replaced a smaller exhibit of the river otter. It also has free-flying North American songbirds, native fish species including shiners, daces, darters, red horse, hogsuckers, yeah, that's a fish, and trouts. It also has a artificial waterfall, and it is so cool. Like, it is a gorgeous, gorgeous exhibit, y'all. It's so nice. It's up at the top. There's also Delta Country, which is a great exhibit. And it really shows species from the Mississippi River Delta. It actually has an alligator. Yep. They really redid this when it opened it in 2015. And there is alligators and snapping turtles. And I'm going to tell y'all, stay away from both. They don't play like that. That's a dinosaur, especially snapping turtles. Snapping turtles are mean. But then it goes on through the river, and you really do start. You start at the very top of the building, and you work your way down. Of course, like the raindrop, which is really cool. And they have another feature, which is Rivers of the World, and these are different size exhibits. And it shows off the Amazon River, the Congo River, and the Fly River, amongst others. And it's really, really cool to be able to see different fish that you would never thought you'd seen. There's also an electric eel. They do have an electric eel. And it's kind of cool. Miguel Watson is the eel's name. And it communicates with the public through a Twitter account, which pre-programmed tweets are posted when the eel emits electricity. Back in December of 2019, the eel's electricity also powered lights on a Christmas tree. So you always hear about electric eels, but you don't really get like how powerful they are. So I think it's really cool that you can actually see like how much power one of these things actually puts out. Of course, they have an exhibit on the Tennessee River, and why wouldn't they? And they show the species found in the river. The centerpiece is a 145,000 gallon Nickajack Lake tank, which features species that live intensively in the Tennessee River itself, including the American paddlefish and some big old catfish, y'all. Catfish are huge in this exhibit. And then, of course, they have river giants, which contain freshwater fish from around the world. And there's an alligator gar. I'm going to say this as best I can, y'all. An arapaima. I don't know. I can't say it. I don't know that word. It is a large species in South America. There we go. I didn't know. Lord, another one I can't say. A Peruvian shark. I can say that one. A Peruvian shark, which is sometimes found in Indochina. So a Peruvian shark from Indochina, red-tailed catfish, which is South American, and it's a really long whiskered catfish. Sometimes it's called the banana catfish. I like our regular catfish. And then a freshwater whip ray, which is found in Australia, northern Australia. And their tails are really long. Like, you can see them in the display when they move around, and like, there's a reason they're called a whip ray. They hurt somebody, y'all. The River Journey also displays turtles, seahorses, frogs, and other marine life. Now, I'm going to tell you about more of it before we go on to the ocean part. And I am going to tell you that they have a really cool Turtles of the World. That is definitely a great one. And I think it's great because not only do they show like the marine life around here or the aquatics or the reptiles, but they give you the chance to see something you may never see. And they have a lot of different turtles in little exhibits, and it's really fun to just walk through the exhibits. To be able to just explore, see things you wouldn't learn about, things you would never think to learn about. And they have a lot of other exhibits. Like they have one called Bridges to Rivers. And what's really cool about it is it has the tank and then it has the kind of fish on the side, y'all. Like, it's like, hey, if you see this one, this is what you're looking at. And they have Alabama shiners, rainbow shiners, which I use shiners as bait, sorry to say. And they have, they just have, it's really cool that you can walk up to this big tank and look at it and go, oh, that's that. Oh, that's that. It's kind of like its own, like, where's Waldo? Where's this fish? It's a hide and seek. And I mean, I really like it. I thought it's really cool. But they also have animals. Yes, there are animals in, obviously, fish are kind of animals, but fish are fish, and animals are animals. And so they do have my favorite exhibit, and why I have to start on the riverside is because they have penguins. They have the Gentoo penguin. And it's the third largest penguin species. And they're so cute. They're so cute, y'all. They're adorable. Like, they have a huge display. And they actually have a penguin rock cam that you can watch from their website. And they also have the color bands that you can know the names of the penguin. And, of course, it's presented by Lil Debbie. Just throwing that out there. But it's so cool that they actually have this massive exhibit of penguins. I love it. It's like my favorite one. Actually, as I'm talking to y'all, I looked up the site, and it's so cool. You can see them moving around. One's flapping its wings. One's sleeping. Like, well, it's using the other one as a pillow. Yeah. Oh, one's using a rock as a pillow. Must not care today. But there's also macaroni penguins in there, and it's really cool that they are doing this kind of conservation. That, they've gone out of their way to really help, animals that are in a vulnerable conservation state. And they have the macaroni penguin, and that's the one where they have the little yellow, we'll call them feathers, near their eyes. Looks like big eyebrows. And of course, you can see them on the Penguin Rock Cam too. There's 2 of them in the view I see right now. And it's really cool. They like to pick up rocks, and I keep seeing them with rocks in their beaks. I don't know if they're giving them to each other. But it's really such a cool exhibit, and it's one of my favorite. And it's the reason that every time I go, I have to go there first. I have to just stand and watch the penguins for like 15 minutes and take a picture with the statue. And it's just so much fun, y'all. Like, it's my favorite exhibit in the aquarium, both sides. You can see other kind of birds. They have barred owls. There are wood ducks. You will see wood ducks floating around in some of the exhibits. Wood ducks are so pretty. They have such the cool little feathers. They're just so many colors. They're gorgeous. And you'll see owls. I don't know. I just love the wood ducks too. They're just so pretty. They're just so pretty to me. But I think it's great that they have all these different kinds of exhibits that incorporate other animals other than their, the fish that you're used to seeing. They also have an octopus. They actually have a giant Pacific octopus, which I would never have seen one had I not gone to this aquarium. And it's just so cool. Like, and I've heard that octopuses are kind of like, they can slip out of everything, which kind of sounds weird to me. That they're just going to like crawl out of their tank. But I guess, that's a thing. But it's really cool that they actually have a giant octopus, and they actually give them like jars with food in it, and the octopus can open the jar with its tentacles. So I just think it's amazing that they even have one, like that you just randomly have an octopus that they have. And of course they have the river otters. They're so cute when you see them play and they swim around and they're just like everywhere and they have so much energy and you're like, I want that coffee. But they just have such a great, they give you so many abilities to see all these things that you would not see normally, especially at an aquarium. I love it. Like, this is why it's one of my favorite places to go in Chattanooga. And they also have lemurs. They actually have lemurs, y'all. Yes, like real, I like to move it lemurs. They're so cool. They're not they don't look like the one I just quoted, but they're endangered. These collared lemurs are actually endangered and they're not studied very much. So for the Tennessee Aquarium, y'all to go out of their way to be able to like look at this, it's really cool. Now they do have the red ruffed lemur and they do have the ring-tailed lemur, which is I like to move it lemurs, like I just quoted. And there's a huge exhibit that you can walk through and see these lemurs. And it's just, it's so cool. It's in their exhibit, Tropical Cove. And you can see them up in the trees, hanging out on rocks. But I think it's really cool that this aquarium went out of their way to not just have like fish. Like they did so much more. And there's actually animal cams that you can watch. There's the penguin cam, the river otter falls, and then there's the secret reef, which is like the big, we're going to talk about in a second, the ocean's journey. And I think it's great that they really do not just conservation, but they really enjoy the education of it. Which brings me to the ocean journeys. And I mean, we've already talked about Tropical Cove, which is the lemurs. But there's also a touch tank for like stingrays, which I love when they have those. I think it's really cool. Because it really lets you like see an animal or a fish up close that you would not see. But the ocean journey is really cool because it more focuses on the, oh my gosh, you guys, I just realized the ocean journey is the one where the penguins are. I guess I go to the ocean first. I'm sorry. I just know I always want to see the penguins first. I could have sworn it was the river, but that wouldn't make sense. So yeah, sorry. The penguins are in the ocean and I love it. Like I do have to go there first. So I guess I go to the ocean first. My bad. But I do like the riverside. I really do. But the ocean side is cool. They do have a butterfly garden. If you're like me and you don't care for butterflies, you go through this part really, really, really fast. But yeah, they have a really cool butterfly garden that allows you to walk through and see butterflies up close that are endangered or just ones that you normally wouldn't see in Tennessee. So it's really, really cool. They also have the Secret Reef, which is a huge, huge tank. So let's really talk about Ocean Journey. Ocean Journey is a 60,000 square foot structure that is about a 10-story building. It opened in 2005, and it follows the theme of River Journey by following the river through into the Gulf of whatever we're calling it now. And it does include macaws, a touch tank of small sharks and rays, the butterfly garden that I run through. No shame, y'all. But they do have like 3 main exhibits, like main ones. And that's the Secret Reef, which I kind of touched on. And that is the largest tank in Ocean Journey. And that's kind of one that you'll walk down like a bunch of ramps and you'll just see it from the different levels. And it depicts really the Flower Garden Banks National Marine Sanctuary, which is about 100 miles off Galveston. And it's in the Gulf of whatever. And it can be viewed for 3 levels, including an undersea cavern which is really cool because you can like walk up to this rock and there's a port you can look in and you can see like the sea turtle up close, or these little fish that don't swim to the top, or see the looming shark shadow overhead. So that's really cool. And of course, there is sand tiger sharks, bonnethead sharks, green sea turtles. Oscar is a well-known green sea turtle. He is missing much of his rear flipper due to an injury from a boat and a predator. And Oscar looks like he's stuck a lot. And I accidentally reported Oscar one time too. I didn't know this. I literally went in and said, hey, one of your sea turtles is lodged. And she goes, no, that's Oscar. Come here, I'll show you. And we walked out, and a couple seconds later, Oscar pops up and pops out. And I'm like, oh, so he plays with people. So Oscar is well known. Definitely well known in the Secret Reef, y'all. Much of the staff know Oscar. There's a really, really cool jellyfish exhibit called Boneless Beauties and Jellies. It's living art. And it really exhibits invertebrates, including the corals, the jellyfish, the cuttlefish. Every time I say cuttlefish, I think of Pirates of the Caribbean. Our dear friends, the cuttlefish. Sorry, if anybody got that, thank you. It is the part that has the giant Pacific octopus. And spider crabs. Those things are creepy. I don't care. I cannot go up to them. I don't do spiders, and I don't do spider crabs, y'all. Not a fan. I'm sure that they're beautiful and appreciated, but hell no. But the jellies is really cool. And there's rotating exhibits of art glass alongside the jellyfish that are changed out. And that's in collaboration with the Hunter Museum of American Art, which is also in Chattanooga. Another really cool museum. And then there's Penguin Rock, which I, for some reason, thought was in the river part. And I'm sorry that I said that in the first part of the podcast, but I love it. And it's in the ocean part. But it is so cool. Like, you can see the penguins. Like, when are you going to see a penguin up close like that? It's so cool. And you can see their different armbands. You can watch them on the camera from home. It's so cool. Like, it is literally my favorite. When they added it, I had to go close to when they first opened it. I loved it. I love it to this day. Like, that is still my favorite exhibit, y'all. I even have a coffee mug with little penguins on it from this aquarium. And little plastic cups, like, no shame. And of course, the aquarium does a lot to promote, events and programs. They have camps. They even have what's called Sleep in the Deep, which, I'm sorry, that just seems weird to me. I couldn't do it. Like, I would wake up and freak out and go running out. Like, I don't know. I think I would like fell over the side of a boat or something. And it's really cool. Like, you can do families in small groups, or you can do a large overnight group. And basically, you check in at 6 p.m. and then they'll tell you what time to leave. And, you pack your sleeping bag and closed-toed shoes and your little toiletries and your pajamas. And you can't wear Crocs or flip-flops. And you bring a flashlight. And you basically sleep in the aquarium. And I think it's really, really cool that they offer this, especially to larger groups. I think it's amazing that this is a thing. You could just sleep in the aquarium. I don't want to do it, but I think it's really cool. And then they have a thing for families and small groups, and they host them throughout the year. The upcoming public overnight for November 8th is already sold out, but December 19th is open. And I'm sure it sells out really well. And I think it's really great that they offer these programs, especially the camps. Like, there's a winter break camp that's going to be coming up. And it really lets you explore nature and the aquarium. And, I like it. I think that it's great. They have 2 winter season camps. One is December 29th through January 2nd. The other is January 5th and 6th. And, it's really cool that they offer this and they give people a chance to come and to learn new things. Sorry, my cat just did something weird. But there's actually also so much to explore outside of the aquarium that's still the aquarium. And that is that there's two public offsite facilities. There's the River Gorge Explorer, which is a 65-foot catamaran boat tour, which actually takes tours through the Tennessee River Gorge and other sites along the Tennessee River. And then there's also the public pier at Ross's Landing Park, which is actually right next to the aquarium. And then there's an IMAX 3D theater. And so it's really cool that they have done all this, especially for conservation and research, y'all. They have a lot for turtle conservation, but they also do a lot of outreach and a lot of education, like I told you about the camps. But I like, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I like the fact that there's the outside. The outside is really, really cool. Right outside of the aquarium, like if you look at Ross's Landing, which is literally right next to the aquarium, it is amazing. Like, so Ross's Landing is the last site of the Cherokee's 61-year occupation of Chattanooga, and it's considered to be the embarkation point of the Cherokee's removal due to the Trail of Tears. So it memorializes the location, and it is on the National Register of Historic Places. It was named for John Ross, chief of the Cherokee Nation, and it's their way of paying respect and tribute to the Cherokee people. And in 2005, a $61 million project to improve the Tennessee public parks was started, and that included the redevelopment of the Ross Landing Park. Huge pedestrian paths were put in to connect the Riverfront Park to the Tennessee Aquarium. A wall along the walkway actually contains art installations that symbolize the path that the Cherokees followed on their forced relocation to Oklahoma. It's beautiful. Like they have a huge set of like a water cascading fountain that you can see at the landing. It's such a great place to walk around and to learn and to remember the Cherokees that were unfortunately taken from that area. And I think it's really cool that they, took the time to revamp all this. And, of course, it is right on the Tennessee River. So you'll see, great views of the river, but you'll also see, like there's a big just open field. There is seats for like if somebody was going to do a show, kind of like a big modern amphitheater. You can see a lot of boats coming in and out. It's a really nice green space area that they really revamped and put next to the aquarium, which allows people to be able to walk to and from very easily. There's also like a water area that looks like rivers and stuff. That's, actually really cool to walk around. So like, I think that it's the Tennessee Aquarium is a great place to go, to learn new things, to be able to, see new things, to be able to see something that you probably would not see before. And it's one of my favorite places in Chattanooga because it is so many different things in one. You can walk through and learn that, the Cherokees used to live here and look at the art that memorializes that. You can walk around and see the actual river itself that they show you. You can walk along the paths and get some fresh air. You can see the bridges from the actual river. Like you can see, I think it's Market Street River or Market Street Bridge. I never remember what road that is. I don't know why. I should pay attention. Is it Market? Yeah, it's Market Street Bridge. And there's a riverboat that sits there that you can see. It's just a really, really cool place to go and learn without actually realizing you're learning. There's also a market that takes place every now and then, and I've actually walked through it. There's some great stuff that happens there. I want to say it's on the week. I know it's on the weekends, but I don't remember which weekends. I know that's bad. I don't remember that part. Because I'm always focused on just going to the aquarium. There's also some cool restaurants around the aquarium, so you can really make a whole day of it for downtown Chattanooga. And I recommend it. Like, this is one of my favorite places to go. I post videos of it all the time on TikTok and Instagram. I absolutely love just sitting in and watching the fishes. Not sleeping with the fishes, but watching the fishes, y'all. And so if you are looking for a thing to do in Chattanooga that gets you out of the hot sun in the summer or out of the really cold air in the winter, go check out downtown Chattanooga and definitely go to the aquarium. You know, learn something without realizing you're learning something, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed learning about one of my favorite places. Now that I know that the penguins are in the ocean journey and not the river journey. My bad again. Don't forget to check out all the social medias, y'all. 5-star reviews if you can. I hope everybody is just doing their thing and having a good time. But don't forget to stay country, y'all.
This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.